Shalom, giving all praises unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham Rokakadash, and in giving double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom unto the elect. And I'm going to do this short video of this article um, concerning the floods that are ravaging northern in that is ravaging Nigeria, especially northern Nigeria. And it reads, "Have the city underwater. 1 million affected by northern Nigeria floods." It's the worst of such flooding in the northeastern city of Maiduguri in 30 years, authorities say. Devastating floods in northeastern Nigeria have submerged entire residential areas, displaced tens of thousands of people, and forced zoo animals to escape into the streets. Whoa. At least 30 people have died in the floods, officials said. However, the death toll is likely to rise as authorities are still scrambling to rescue thousands of others feared trapped in their homes. The floods hit Borno State earlier this week after a dam impounding a regional river burst its banks. The heavy surge of water buried half the state capital, Maiduguri, damaging buildings and infrastructure. Authorities say some 1 million people are affected, of which about 200,000 are displaced. Floods are not uncommon in northern Nigeria. However, experts say Maiduguri is seeing its worst flood in 30 years. The affected region is the heart of a 15-year armed rebellion led by Boko Haram that has already seen millions of displaced people living in camps, making them particularly vulnerable. Maiduguri also serves as a hub for humanitarian operations. Here's what to know about what caused the floods and how officials are responding. What caused the floods? Authorities say the floods were caused by the flow of excessive rainwater mid the rainy season, which lasts from June to September in the West African country. The Alau Dam, located in Konduga community just a few kilometers outside Maiduguri, burst its banks on Monday after being overwhelmed by a heavy rainfall, officials say. The dam was built in '86 to help farmers in Maiduguri with irrigation. In many instances, it also helps control flooding from the Ganda River, which on occasion gets higher than normal inflows from water sources that trace back to the massive Lake Chad. In '94, the heavy rains caused allowed to break, inundating Maiduguri and its surrounding areas. In 2012, the dam broke and flooded communities nearby. The number of those affected in '94 remains unclear, while the government reports a multiple floods event across several states in 2012 killed 363 people and displaced 3.8 million. What's happening to people in flood-affected areas? Thousands of people are still trapped in buildings and on trees in flood-affected areas, Al Jazeera Ahmed Idris said, reporting from Maiduguri. To exit their homes, people must use canoes, which are not readily available in most places. In many places, water levels have not receded, although authorities are now helping with search and rescue. Initially, survivors were forced to wait for hours and were mostly helped by volunteers with minimal resources. People were going to the water with bare hands, very little equipment to help try and save people from drowning, Idris said on Thursday. In one location, we went to the head of the rescue operation. A local volunteer group told us they were able, as of yesterday, to save 200 people who were stranded in their homes. Some were on treetops, some were on rooftops, some were clinging virtually to anything they could lay their hands on. Authorities are using boats for rescue operations. Crowds of people also packed onto huge military trucks that were deployed for a rescue operation on Wednesday. Officials have recovered many bodies, Idris said, without giving any number. One of them was by baby Hamria, who waited with a family to be rescued for 36 hours after seeking shelter on a boat. The boat capsized, causing the baby to drown. Damaged septic tanks and flooded graveyards are also spurring fears of a rapid spread of infectious diseases, even as officials scramble to find shelter for those affected. Leading hospitals in the state including the 1,305-bed University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the largest in northeast Nigeria, are also flooded. I've been in this hospital for the last 37 years and I've never seen something like this. Ahmed Ahiju, the chief medical director of the hospital, told Al Jazeera on Thursday. The whole of the ground floor in the centers, we have about 14 specialized centers in the hospital. They are all flooded and some of the machines they are very, very expensive. These machines are submerged in water. The hospital can still conduct emergency operations on the upper levels, but it has no electricity and has been forced to suspend admissions. Ahiju added, as the sewage system has burst open and could infect patients. Why are wild animals in the streets? Another concern is wild animals swimming in the flood waters. Officials said the flood either killed or washed away 80% of the animals in the Sanda Karimi Park Zoo in Maiduguri. In a statement, the zoo authorities confirmed that dangerous animals had escaped and urged residents to be careful. Dangerous times indeed. Some deadly animals have been washed away into our communities like crocodiles and snakes. The statement read, "It is unclear how many animals were there in the zoo. It housed a wide array of wildlife, including endangered elephants and lions, as well as hyenas, crocodiles, and snakes." In videos posted on our social media, an ostrich that appeared to have escaped from the zoo pranced around the streets. Officials said they had managed to rescue and return the animal. This article is really long. It's a food emergency brewing. Many in Borno State and much of the northern Nigeria were already in the throes of a punishing food emergency amid high inflation. Malnutrition have surged in the region as the lean season ends, with 4.4 million people lacking food, according to the World Food Programme. The ongoing war waged by Boko Haram also means hundreds of thousands of people live in tents in camps meant for internally displaced people across Maiduguri and depend on food from aid organizations. Half of the city is now underwater. Now, what is happening also in the camps is that people are really desperate. Idris said some people have been there for more than 48 hours and they haven't seen any help. Al Jazeera's Fidelis Mba also reporting from Maiduguri said IDP camps were totally evacuated, so authorities have moved some people to the few ones that are not flooded. Some have been moved to schools, churches, mosques, because there really is nowhere else to go. Adding to their woes, farmers in the food-producing country have been targeted by armed groups and killed on their farms in recent years. Experts have attributed the food crisis in the region partly due to reduced local cultivation. And the Borno government has distributed money to those affected by the flood to buy food this week. There is hardly anything to buy as markets are flooded, Idris said. Most of the food stored in the market has been flooded, some of it totally destroyed, and the little that is in Borno State will not be enough to feed the huge numbers of people displaced by this disaster, he said. Warnings about the floods appear to have been sounded months ago, although it is unclear why the country's national disaster agencies and the state government were not more prepared for the flood. about 2 weeks ago, we issued a national red alert, and every year we issue a national flood outlook showing this is how the flooding will be. Femi Bajide said, the director of National Hydrological Services Agency, told local Arise news station. And so this concludes the lesson, and I go to this concludes the article, and I go to this following precepts. Second Ezra 8 verse 50, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And to the next precept, and it reads Isaiah 29 verses 6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Basham Yahushai, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, which caused this horrible flooding in the northern part of Nigeria, and the flame of devouring fire. And so let me see this, whether I can check on this precept. Beth Pens KJV, Matthew 24:8. All right, and so we go to Matthew 24 verses 8. This at the beginning. Let me see. Matthew 24:8. Let's see. All right. Matthew 24 verses 8, and it reads Matthew 24 7 verses 8, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And so I conclude this lesson by giving all praises unto Yahweh Basham Yahushai Basham Kakadash, and Shalom unto the elect, and Shalom.